Good morning to you. It was an event which, at that time, probably to be fair, was more of our seniors that were doing better, and then we've turned around a little bit since then.
It was actually, but it was an interesting opening because these athletes, as we look there, Stephanie Twell, the athlete who's won this event, the junior, the under-20 age group championship 2 years in a row. She's very conscious of the history of the sport, and she realizes that she would be the first athlete to win it 3 times. A strong Irish team. The Irish youth, the juniors, men and women, often excel in this event. The European Cross Country Championships, Brussels 2008. 6 races, men's and women's under 20s, men's and women's under 23s, and then the 2 senior races later in the afternoon.
Well, for cross-country fans, they'll be pretty familiar with this course in Brussels. It was the venue for the World Cross Country Championships a few years ago. And the junior women's race underway. Sprint for the first 300-400 meters. Try and get yourself into a good position as usual. Conditions underfoot, apparently not too bad. This course can cut up quite a bit, can get quite muddy. It's twisty, turny sort of course through Park Woodland. The junior women compete over 4 kilometers. There's a big lap of 1,500 meters and a small lap of 1,000 meters. So if you do your maths, they do 1 small lap and then 2 big laps to cover the 4K. And no sign just at the moment of the British team, but the media, athletics media, talking about perhaps a first ever clean sweep, 1, 2, 3 for the British team. Last year they had their 4 counters inside the top 6 to easily win the team race with just 14 points. And with the likes of Steph Twell, who we've mentioned, who starts as the red-hot favourite for this race, her teammates including Emma Pallant, Laura Park, Lauren Howarth, Emily Pidgeon, former medalist in this event herself, and young Charlotte Purdue, who took the bronze last year when she was just 16 years of age. It's a team which is looking to dominate here today. I said that it's twisty-turny, and some of the switchbacks are very, very tight indeed. It gives the spectators a good chance to view what's going on, though, if not necessarily always helping the rhythm of the athletes. And this first race will give us a little bit of an indication as to the state of the course. Temperature around 3-4 degrees, as you'd probably expect this time of year. Thankfully no snow. And there aren't too many hills on this. It's as I said, just really undulating parkland.
A particularly cautious, probably sensible opening by the British team, which is favoured. Stephanie Twell, Charlotte Purdue, Emily Pidgeon, Laura Park, and they've obviously are running to team tactics, because normally you'd expect there's Stephanie Twell going through the shot, and the rest of them are really taking it cautiously. And if you look at this course, it looks to me as though it will definitely churn up later on. If you were running here, Steve, you'd probably want to run the first event rather than the last event. It'll probably be pretty heavy going in the late stages. But there, right in the middle of the pack, I can see Stephanie Twell just working her way through. The rest of the British team coming up on the outside and beginning to make a move. But a sensible opening, steady opening. And if in a field like this of 80 runners, it's sometimes a good thing to do. Let the early running get out of the way. Let the fast opening lap, or the opening couple of 1,000 meters, or 1,000 meters indeed, and then start to move through. And as I say that, on the outside, on the right-hand side, you can see 4 members of the British team just beginning to work their way through this field.
You're about running laps, Brent. I was at the Northeastern Cross Country Championships yesterday, which was bitterly cold apart from anything else, and it was an absolute quagmire. You can already see the mud on the legs, in fact, all the way up the body of the athletes already. And you're right, by the time you've run 4 or 5 races, even if it starts reasonably firm underfoot, it soon cuts up at this time of year. And it was, I have to say, the Northeasterns were a real old traditional style course, which isn't always the case, of course, when you come to these championships, and perhaps Europeans more than the World Champs, although, as I said, this course has been used for the World Championships, probably reflect our old European traditions of cross-country. And certainly the last 2 or 3 years, the course has been quite a tough test. This one, as I said, is well known to many of the athletes, and Brendan's rightly saying there, the British athletes moving forward en masse, taking closer order towards the front, which we expected. In fact, there they are now. Charlotte Purdue, the shortest of the British athletes, just muscling her way to the front, if you like. Laura Park always wears that distinctive, how should I call it, almost a beanie, isn't it? Emma Pallant.
You can actually see here, Steve. You can see the. You can listen to the team talk from the team manager. He's obviously told them first lap, just get it going, just get in amongst it, and then after one lap, start moving through the field and trying to take a better position. And almost the whole of the British team are moving through. There's Emma Pallant.
Well, the team manager, Bren, is Mick Woods, who coaches 3 of these athletes, Charlotte Purdue, Emma Pallant, and of course Steph Twell, and he's been given the job of being the team manager, which is a wise thing to do if you're coaching half of them.
Very wise thing to do, and he's done really well with these athletes over the years. But Stephanie Twell in the middle there, Pallant right next to her, Laura Park, Emily Pigeon just coming through, Charlotte Purdue leading that group, and so the whole organisation comes into full flow from UK Athletics when teams go off to events like this to represent Great Britain. There you can see they're working to plan. You can already see how slippy it is. They're having difficulty cornering, and I hate to think what it'll be like later in the afternoon when the senior men's race is held. We're looking forward to that one from a British point of view with Mo Farah. But there's the women's under-20s. These are the athletes, interestingly enough, when you look back in the results on this event in 4 years' time in 2012, you'll see some of these athletes representing some of their countries. Hopefully some of these British athletes representing Great Britain, as Stephanie Twells clearly is one of them, representing Britain in the Olympic Games this year, around the 1500 metres, and now she's in the position she wants to be, alongside Charlotte Purdue, now the 2 times champion. For the first time senses the front, goes to the front, Charlotte Purdue moving alongside her, and just behind them there's a strong contingent, a Russian contingent. When we get a bit closer we'll tell you exactly who they are. Gordieva of Russia is the first one of those, of that Russian group. But Stephanie Twell, who said she was very happy to run on a course which was going to be muddy and heavy going. She trains on conditions like this, and now Stephanie Twell just taking over from Charlotte Purdue. She's gone into this race a strong favourite. She's gone into this race, you know, Steve, she could have run the senior race today. She's possibly amongst our best cross-country runners, juniors, under-23s and seniors.
Well, she did indeed win the senior trial, of course. She didn't choose to run the junior event. Emma Pallant won the junior trial. And there you can see the standings after that first 1 kilometre lap. And Charlotte Purdue and Steph Twell now, of course, at the front. But the British team well placed at the moment. I thought 1 or 2 of the others might have at least taken their lead. Emma Pallant just trying to get closer to the front too. Steph Twell and Charlotte Purdue forging ahead in these early stages, and now indeed being followed by their teammates Lauren Howarth and Emma Pallant, now in 3rd and 4th. Emily Pigeon going through the picture there as well, and there's Laura Park, the 6th of the British counter. So they're looking very good, not only for the individual medals 1, 2, 3 and 4, but obviously that with them would mean they sail the team prize as well. Just about a mile covered in this event, and Steph Twell forging on.
Well, what a great sight that is. The European Junior Championships, the 2 times winner and the strong favourite Stephanie Twell from Great Britain, leading from Charlotte Purdue, and then just behind them is Lauren Howarth, and then just behind them is Emma Pallant. So Great Britain 1, 2, 3 and 4. I've got to be honest, Steve, this is really great to see, because it's a fair long time since we saw anything like that before. And then now another British athlete moving into 5th place. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could they possibly hold this almost halfway around this, or just past halfway actually, around this demanding and difficult cross-country course? And if you look at it foreshadowing, there's Stephanie Twell, there's Charlotte Purdue, there's Howarth, there's Emma Pallant, and here comes Emily Pigeon. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 as the bell sounds, and I'm absolutely delighted to see this performance by the team, because it looks to me as though they're going stronger.
It's interesting. You talk about the strength and depth, Brendan. If you went back 2 years, 3 years, and when Emily Pigeon won a medal in this event, and she was our best junior, and you were thinking, right, Emily Pigeon's going to forge on, and here we are with well, another 4 athletes ahead of her. Obviously, Steph Twell, her last year as a junior, going to win, or looks as though she's heading towards her 3rd title here. Charlotte Purdue took the bronze medal last year at age 16, heading towards a silver medal at this point at age of 17. Has another year at least in this age group. And it just shows the strength in depth. It worries me a little bit about the overall standard of the junior women's scene in Europe, but it's a great feather in Britain's cap. It cannot get better than this. Really is a superb show of strength from the British squad here. And Steph Twell, you rightly said, could have chosen to run in the senior race. I think she would have been very competitive, certainly in the under-23 race. But she's the best cross-country runner in Britain at all age groups at the moment, and is, I guess, waving goodbye to the junior ranks in fine style here, and her teammates are going very well behind her. Just seeing Emily Pigeon just losing a place there, just having a little look behind, but Britain in the top 4 places with Steph Twell just extending that lead, as you said.
But doesn't she look good? Doesn't she look strong? Stephanie Twell, twice before, having won this championship, choosing to try and win it again because of the historic significance of winning 3 junior titles. Charlotte Purdue, her teammate, in 2nd place. And then Lauren Howarth from Lee Harriers in Lancashire for the 2 Aldershot Farnham and District athletes, 1 and 2. Howarth in 3rd place, having just moved through ahead of Emma Pallant, who's in 4th place. She's the other athlete from Aldershot Farnham and District. Coach, these 3 Aldershot athletes, coached by Mick Woods, has done a fantastic job, and he's doing a brilliant job with Stephanie Twell. He's got her ready. He knows she could have been competitive in the senior race, but why not win the juniors for a 3rd time? Why not try to win the juniors for a 3rd time and then get herself ready? We know she's going to be running against some formidable opposition in Edinburgh in early January, and she's aiming for that one in particular. She's going to go away, do some hard training. She realises today's race for her was going to be a bit easier than it will be in a few weeks' time. But I'll tell you what, I'm impressed about the way she's digging in. She's still working hard. She's pretty strongly clear of Charlotte Purdue, her training partner and teammate, in 2nd place, who's 17-year-old from Aldershot and Farnham and District. And then Lauren Howarth still in 3rd place, and this would be fantastic to see a clear sweep. We only see that in cross-country these days with the Kenyans or the Ethiopians in the world cross-country, but to see Britain finishing 1, 2, 3 in the junior championships. These athletes are under 20, so in a few years' time, when it comes around to the Olympic Games in London, they'll be athletes of the right kind of age to run in the distance races. So this is exciting news for Great Britain, and Charlotte Purdue running really well in 2nd place.
I think she is running particularly well, because Steph Twell won the senior trial quite easily, and Charlotte Purdue's not that far behind her. Emma Pallant, their other training partner, struggling a little bit on the mud. She might have been looking for the 3rd place, but Lauren Howarth at the moment has that. But at the front, it's all about Steph Twell, forging on here towards her 3rd title. Charlotte Purdue stuck to her task really well indeed, is not that far behind, and there's a big gap to Lauren Howarth, who'll be delighted to have got into the top 3 here, ahead of Emma Pallant, who beat her in the trials. Howarth still looking very strong indeed and running well, and behind them is Emma Pallant, who may well be just being caught by Emily Pigeon. There you can see in the distance Emily Pigeon's got Pallant on the sides. I think Emma Pallant, such a great talent on the track, had a really good year last year, probably not finding some of the mud to her liking, but Steph Twell has just glided across the top of all of this, has taken it all in her stride, and what a future awaits her. Of course, went to the Olympic Games last year, rather unlucky not to get to the final in the 1500 metres, ran a great personal best 4.5 in Paris, and continuing that good form into this winter. She's immensely strong. You can see the power of Stephanie Twell, and the good thing about her, she runs the 1500 metres on the track, which is good preparation for the future. But here she comes into the finishing straight. The crowd are really rising to this. The 3rd time champion, and her teammate in 2nd place, and another teammate in 3rd place. Well done to Stephanie Twell. Stephanie Twell of Great Britain, taking her 3rd European Junior cross-country title. A superb performance from her. She was the hot favourite. She looked round now and will be absolutely delighted to see her training partner Charlotte Purdue, bronze last year, silver this time. Great run from Charlotte Purdue, and then it will be another British athlete. Lauren Howarth will take the bronze individual medal, coming in ahead of her two teammates, Emily Pigeon and Emma Pallant, struggling to keep going up the home straight there, but it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Great Britain. Superb performance from the British squad. And is that Laura Park coming through to make it 6? Unprecedented. Top 6 for Great Britain. I wonder who wins the team race.
Well, I'm just doing my calculations, Steve. I think Britain have got a chance of winning that team race. 4 to score, 1, 2, 3, 4. Absolutely fantastic. And what a great fillip for British female distance running. What a wonderful occasion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Led ably by Stephanie Twell, an athlete who we'll hear a lot about in the future.
Well, 3 individual medals and, of course, the team gold. They've won the team race for the last 3 years. That's 4 in a row for them. 3 in a year, of course, for Steph Twell. It was 4 in 6 last year, but top 6 places. What a great performance by the British team. We'll be seeing those presentations in a little while, and then rejoining the junior men in about, 20-25 minutes or so, their race gets underway.
Okay, we have to go now.
Where are we going?
Okay, here. So for the factory sale.
So Charlotte Purdue.
En zoals ze na de eerste ronde doorkwamen, zijn ze ook voor de rest van de wedstrijd blijven staan aan de leiding in het groepsklassement. Groot-Brittannië, Oekraïne op de tweede plaats en Rusland derde. So Great Britain wins the team ranking before Ukraine and Russia, Ireland on 4, Germany on 5, Poland on 6, France on 7, Turkey on 8, Spain on 9 and laten we hopen nu op de tiende plaats.
Évidemment de la Grande-Bretagne à l'intérim, devant l'Ukraine, la Russie, l'Irlande, l'Allemagne, la Pologne, la France, la Turquie, l'Espagne et la Belgique. On regarde également donc Moldovan, la Russe est 7e devant sa compatriote Gordaïeva.